Students, your time has come. I have decided that it's time to share some of my knowledge with you. That's right. Do you want to become a true legendary professional wrestling character? Do you want to learn how to project your voice, to enunciate, to come up with the greatest promos that you possibly could? Then you need to join me each and every week for just $50. I am hosting a masterclass on Zoom. That's right. You don't have to travel. You can do it from the comfort of your own home. I will teach you how to become the greatest character you can be. I will help you discover who you truly are. I will help you with taglines, promos, etc., etc. Join me for just $50 a week in a masterclass of wrestling character development. There's a reason they call us the masters of wrestling. Welcome, wrestling fashionistas, to this Styling the Podcast. I'm one of your co-stars, the Master Amir, joined by my co-star, the namesake of the show itself. He is a former WWE Tag Team Champion. He is a WWE and AEW superstar. He is the stylist, Rico Casatino.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to our live show. I hope you're having an amazing day. I'm having an amazing day here, relaxing, and can't wait to get into our topics.
It's going to be an amazing discussion. It's going to be, dare I say, a very heated discussion today, gentlemen. Of course, at the top of our screen, we have all the way from Canada, ladies and gentlemen. He is the bodacious suave, Matthew Jacobs.
Hello, everyone. Heated. Let's go. Get right into it.
It's going to be heated. So anybody out there watching, we're going to be discussing the Triple H Vince Russo situation, which is heating up, turning into a modern day wrestling war. This kind of reminds me of the 90s, gentlemen. This reminds me of the Monday Night Wars all over again. And who do we have to thank for it? My Uncle Paul.
Uncle Paul.
And one of our dear friends, Vince Russo. Get your super chats, your super thanks ready. If you want to ask a question, if you want to appear with us live here, pose your question, hit it with a super chat, and we will address it right here. So, Rico, Matthew, we've all seen the videos. We all know what took place last week. Rico, I want to remind everybody, you started John Cena's career in many ways. You brought him in. You were in his camp, his team. You debuted the prototype in OVW. And now you've watched the ending of this man's career. First of all, what did you think of the way that John went out?
I thought his slogan was never quit.
Right?
What did he do? Yeah, but he smiled.
Yeah. He smiled.
I mean, what are you trying to tell everybody?
Is that a one of those?
I don't know. Like I said, I wasn't there, and I don't know what was going on in the back. Is this another screw Bret Hart type of timeline?
Screw the fans is what it seems.
Well, like I said, is this the same thing? Mm-hmm. You know, that okay, I'm going to go out and I'm going to say something. And he said it through his actions, you know, and I don't think Michael Cole helped.
No, he didn't. He didn't help because what did he say? So I don't know. I didn't catch this until I watched it again yesterday because, you know, obviously I can't stomach some of this stuff. Bodacious Suave and Rico. I have to only, take it in snippets. Otherwise I will vomit. But nonetheless, Michael Cole said when Cena tapped out, it's the end of sports entertainment. This is the phrase that Vince McMahon coined. It's the end of sports entertainment, and Gunther is the future of professional wrestling. Wow, what a statement. What a reveal in just the one line. What do you think that means?
I don't think Gunther can take the company on his shoulders. I really don't. He has no style.
He
has no ambiance. He has no character. He's like Frankenstein.
Yeah. Pretty much.
He's big and that's it. But where's his flair? Where's his style? Where's his, panache? Where is all of that? He has none of it. Where's his
this?
body? He might be big, but he's not muscular.
I don't know. I mean, Bodacious One, what do you think of Gunther?
Well, right now I'm caught by Sneaky Pete 67 there. I think he's got the facts down straight. Bodacious Suave and Stylist bringing the noise today.
Yeah, bringing the noise. Two of you are going to bring the noise today. Bodacious Suave, Gunther, what do you think? Flash in the pan? Not even a flash.
No, I mean, there's talent, but misused. I think they dropped the ball like when he had all that momentum as the IC champion, undefeated. He was at the top of the chain. Then you make him lose to Sami Zayn, which I don't know how is possible. Mm-hmm. And that kind of puts him down on the ranking a little bit. Mm-hmm. And then this match just put together with no storyline. Where's it going to go as of next week? What are you going to do with Gunther? Is he the new legend killer?
Randy Orton Mach 2, huh?
Well, everything's copied, right?
Yeah.
They can't seem to come up with anything.
Well, I don't know. This didn't seem copied. I don't know a time before where someone smiled. But the bigger point I want to hit here, and viewers, I want you to chime in on this too, is that key word. He said, this is the end of sports entertainment, and that is the future of professional wrestling. Now, sports entertainment, again, I want to bring this up. Professional wrestling, back in the day, in the dark ages, before Vince made sports entertainment, was not, and I will repeat, it was not a worldwide phenomenon. Moves themselves cannot transcend into the mainstream and bring in new audience members. The only thing that can do that is entertainment, stories, larger than life characters. So what does this mean then? Does this mean they're going to kill off the story aspect in WWE? I mean, they virtually have anyway. I mean, the storylines are horrendous, whatever ones they are. They're, 5 minutes, whatever. The storyline lasts 1 week and ends the next. But does this mean the end? Does this mean it's going to look more and more just like a UFC special on Netflix? Rico, what do you think?
I think that's stupid because UFC is UFC, MMA is MMA. I mean, you're not going to have Zayn, beat Gunther because he'll pound him into the ground, right. In real life. Then you're going to get injuries. Now, does that take you out of sports entertainment and actually put you in an athletic event, which is totally different? Yeah. You got to get athletic commissions for each state to approve this. We were sports entertainment, but we weren't, when I was wrestling, we weren't held to a tighter rule book than boxers, people like that who competed and stuff. They're held to a really tough rule book.
Yeah.
And the sports entertainment part gave us a little bit of leeway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do you reckon, Bodacious Suave? I'm going to pose you this question, Bodacious One. Yep. Can pro wrestling survive without the sports entertainment factor embedded within it?
I think so.
You think it can?
How?
Bodacious Suave?
Let's just see a change.
So why don't we get back to the old storytelling like they used to?
Yeah, I was going to say
people would mob little arenas to see Rocky Johnson take on Pat Patterson. They had a feud going, and it wasn't a weak feud. I mean, go ahead.
Rico, did you ever have that problem? Like, I mean, you weren't a vicious character, but did anybody just absolutely despise your character and it just bothered them? Like they would wait for you outside in the parking lot and trash your car? I mean, I hope the answer is no, but then you get the idea.
No, because I had rental cars. We all had rental cars.
Yeah, but
and the stylist character wasn't evil. I mean, he was just not evil, but he was discreditable. He was he always undermined everything with his little ways because he knew how to get his way. So I would interfere in the matches with Billy and Chuck, 3-minute warning. But then when I started going out there on my own, especially with the martial arts background and these are real martial arts moves, then that spoke for me. So I was the guy they loved to hate. because they knew they had to hate me.
Yeah.
Because my storyline, and like I said, I didn't do too many promos until after the wedding or the engagement and the wedding. Those were my very big promos. Other than that, I did a few promos when I was a singles wrestler. You know, Cena and I got into it in the back, and that made a match. You know, and Val Venus and I. You know, there was always something going on, and it was always them mocking my outfit, and I wasn't a real stylist and not a real wrestler.
But Rico, and Bodacious Suave, if you strip out sports entertainment, everything Rico just said is gone. That's what I'm saying. When that statement, if we're talking about stripping sports entertainment out, you're going to get a product that's going to look like most of AEW. Moves. No promos, no build-up, no storylines. That's what sports entertainment means. So when I said to you, if you take out sports entertainment, you're just going to be left with this guy versus this guy versus this guy. And that's all you're going to get. You're not going to get.
And you're going to get maneuvers. That's it. If you want to see acrobats, go to Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus, or watch the Olympics when it comes out. There's your acrobatics.
Right.
You know, even in the circus, they tell stories.
Yeah.
And all they do. You know, and that's where wrestling came from. Carnies.
Yep.
Carnivals.
When did the term sports entertainment like come on TV? When was it said? Like, this is sports entertainment. It wasn't back in like early 90s.
It was before.
No, I think it was said before that, after Hulk Hogan, I believe, and steroid.
Okay, it was around. It was after
around that time, and I believe Vince said it's sports entertainment, so he got out of that tighter rule book from the athletic commissions, and it's sports entertainment. Yeah. These guys aren't really punching everybody, you know.
Well, nothing changed in the formula. It was just, he just said it, right? To, I think, get off a court case. But really, his formula was the exact same. No, that whole way. And then, I mean, now it's really entertainment garbage.
Well, now it's garbage entertainment. But before, when he said sports entertainment, like I said, he had a reason for it. And it became like a guy's soap opera.
Because everything was still kayfabe at the time, and we didn't fully know it was fake. The secrets weren't out.
Mm-hmm. That's when I think that all started to come out back then. Is that then the kayfabe was lost?
I think it was a little bit later. I think it was towards late 90s. Once the internet started breaking, I could be wrong. I was young. I was 10.
The kayfabe thing was really blown out of the water with the Hitman Hart Shadows. The Shadows. What was it? Shadows of Wrestling, the documentary. And then
get it right, eh? Wrestling with
Shadows.
I don't take any heart slandering here. Guys in the chat, make sure, protect me here.
Yeah, Beyond the Mat. But then, of course, it was the Montreal screw job that really screwed everything out of the kayfabe. But to your point, I think sports entertainment was already there, but it wasn't to the degree that Vince made. But now my point, back to both of you, is no, I don't think it's even entertainment garbage right now, because I don't see any characters. I don't see any storylines. I mean, come on, this guy comes back in a hood, Mr. Eyebrows, Mr. Fake Eyebrows. What is this kid's name? Bodacious one who was under the mask at Survivor Series?
Austin Theory.
Like that's even his real name. But anyway, the bottom line is that's not, that is a very slight form of entertainment, very abysmal form of entertainment.
Well, I'd like to ask Rico about that. If you can. So Austin Theory is a current WWE roster talent.
So
good looking young guy, very good body. But I think he was pushed by Vince before Vince left. Like Vince was like, I love this kid. Ah. And then Triple H comes in and suddenly disappears. I believe, I could be wrong. Right now we're going into kind of high season of wrestling, right? Royal Rumble's coming and then WrestleMania, blah, blah, blah.
Purportedly, Bodacious Swap.
So we got to think of something new. Okay, let's push this guy and try to create something. But my question is, I don't think it got anyone excited because he wasn't like a main draw when Vince was pushing him. I mean, people recognized him, and yes, but he wasn't up here. So if you push someone who's been off TV for so long and someone that wasn't pushed, and now we see you're being pushed, aren't we kind of like, well, okay, whatever?
It's kind of, it doesn't make sense, Rico. You know, it's just like, why would you suddenly push a guy who was relegated to the back? We know he can't carry the company anyway. Probably
exactly.
Can't. Yeah.
So
yeah, just from what I've heard on the internet and stuff like that, I think it's buddies helping buddies, and you're bringing people up too early. They don't get the experience like you used to get, before me in the Indies, and then when WWE or F then turned E had developmental territories. Like I said, I was involved with OVW, PPW, and HWA. You know, so I was wrestling in 3 different organizations, picking up, suggestions and learning from 3 different territories.
Good point.
And then I was lucky enough to have James Cornette, Danny Davis, and then I've mentioned the crew of guys that took interest in me, and I listened to them, and look where I got, and I debuted at 40.
Yep.
Yeah. Rico, you can teach people in the chat here if anyone wants to be a wrestler and advice to whoever, but you said you worked 3 territories at the same time. Were they all were they kind of generally far apart, like say Mid-South, South, and
yeah,
West?
One was in Tennessee, was Power Pro. Cincinnati, Ohio, right up there was HWA, and Louisville, Kentucky was OVW.
Okay, so perfect. Did you notice that maybe something didn't work in one of those towns and then would work in another town?
No, I didn't change my character. I stayed the same.
Did you notice the reactions could be different in all 3 towns?
Not when I went out there.
You're boring then.
Hey, I'm just telling you. When you back in 1999, 2000, you throw in former American Gladiator champion. Everybody watched Gladiators. And here I was, the champion, and now I'm HWA's champion, Power Pro's champion, OVW's champion. I carried all 3 titles at the same time.
Okay. Yep, there you go.
So that's talent. That's talent.
But I just want to give, anybody new watching the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the likes, share it with your friends and family, get this one out there. If you want to jump in with us on this, get your super chats, your super thanks ready. Fire away with your questions. We're going to be here for a while, and we want to get you involved in what we're discussing today. We want to hear from you. We want your opinions. So sorry to cut in there, but obviously someone has mentioned here in the chat, JCW. We will be covering that. We were just kind of leading in with the John Cena, the backstory here of why this new wrestling war has been declared by Vince Russo, and rightfully so. I agree 100%. Let's get into that topic right now, gentlemen. Let's jump right into it. Here we go. Okay.
Here comes the heel.
Here we go. Okay. Now, despite my best efforts, I have contacted Uncle Paul on numerous occasions. He has turned me down. He wouldn't listen to me. Whatever is the deal. Now can he turn away from the shots fired by Vince Russo? This, in my opinion, is what AEW should have done all along. To be competition, you have to challenge your competitor. And kudos to our dear friend Vince Russo for having the courage, dare I say the balls, to stand in another company's ring and cut that amazing promo that he did on Triple H the other night. Now, he stated, Rico, you're smiling here. You're salivating at this because you see the wrestling. This is when wrestling comes back. All right. So, Rico, your thoughts on, now, first of all, was this a good idea for Vince Russo to shoot at Triple H from JCW?
Yep. He did it with style and with a smile on his face. And you could tell he believed everything he said because there was conviction in his eyes. I mean, I tell you, he just loaded up that bazooka and fired.
Yeah.
And he didn't care. He
Yeah.
didn't care what Triple H had to say. You know, he just said his points, and he had all of his points down.
Yep, he did. He got them all down. And I just want to address this guy, this Brandon Davenport. Yeah, no, the only clowns that exist are the ones who paint their faces. You, sir, you little, this guy, Bodacious Suave. I think we've got a little bit of a troll in the midst here. Yeah.
Stay hot, Amir.
We got a little bit of a troll here, right? Okay, a guy who likes clowns, a grown man who likes clowns, I guess. Bodacious one, what do you think about this whole thing with Vince Russo?
Vince Russo's right, and I agree with Rico that he was on point.
Yeah.
And what I want to just say, Enrico, please let me know if you think I'm right. Triple H was a wrestler. You cannot be. I don't believe a wrestler can be a booker / writer. It doesn't work. You already have your favorites. You're gonna have the people you don't like. You're gonna ruin them, and I think that's what he's doing with certain individuals. He has his book of who I'm gonna. There you go, of who I'm gonna bury and whatever. Vince Russo knows this, and I say it, and I'll say it again here. I think Triple H and Shawn Michaels should not be head writers. At best,
no,
they should be producers.
Yeah. Producers or agents or whatever.
Leave the booking to someone that's not a former staff member. Look what happened to WCW.
Right.
Yep.
Kevin Nash. Yeah.
Right. So WWE's heading that way, and these guys' egos are so big, it's getting destroyed.
Well, look at what look what Uncle Paul did to our dear buddy Killer Cross. Okay, Killer Cross. Karrion Kross. Yeah, here's another guy. Perfect example. This guy had all the fans. Okay. Who did he lose to in his last pay-per-view? Does anybody remember? Bodacious one, do you remember?
No.
It wasn't the Beam Paul himself, was it? It wasn't Dominic Mysterio, the man who doesn't take a bath. Was it him?
I don't know. I don't know
who it was, but anyway, nonetheless, Karrion Kross was so over with the crowd.
Okay, right now, if Triple H's ego is so big, you know what? Why don't you put yourself in a storyline with him then?
Exactly.
No, I don't want the $20 million. I don't want it. Don't worry about it. I'll just fire your ass and whatever.
Well, as Vince said, or I saw it on. I was watching the Vince Russo again, a clip, and the next clip that came forward are 10 wrestlers that James Cornette hates, and the number one person on his hate list is Vince Russo. So they were going at it as Cornette's point, but Karrion Kross got brought up, and I think it was Vince. I don't know. Said he fired him because he thought Kross would be a bigger star than he was.
Hold on 1 second, Rico. What are you laughing about, Bodacious?
How do you not laugh at that comment? Sneaky Pete's on a roll here.
He is. Refuses to take a bath. Sounds like a girl I used to date. Wow, Sneaky Pete.
That's my uncle, just to let you know.
Oh, okay, that's your uncle. I want to give a shout out also to the Suspect. Hey, Suspect. He is our resident ring announcer for the Masters of Wrestling when we debut here in Southern California in 2026. He's a man who's poised, coiffed, ready to go. He reminds me of
coiffed.
Yes, Michael Buffer. He reminds me of. I know you're the stylist, but Rico, you'll understand when you meet the Suspect why he's a stylist man. So, but yeah, he is our ring announcer, and he's in the chat right now.
Speaking of stylists, Rico, I need some hair products. Anything you suggest? I'm currently using Olaplex right now.
That's the good stuff.
Rogaine.
What's the other one?
Nioxin or Hims. Go to hims.com.
Yes, the Meloxidine or whatever. Yeah. Oh, someone did tell us, I guess he's trying to make peace with us now. Brandon's trying to make peace with us now. He tells me that Karrion Kross lost to another man who needs a bath and a shave, Sami Zayn.
Oh, my God. So
yeah.
Sami Zayn got win over Gunther and Karrion Kross.
Yeah.
He will be the winner of the Royal Rumble, I predict.
He will. He'll be the Saudi champion. When Tico sell to Saudi, Sami Zayn will be at the top of the food chain.
That's what I predicted since spring.
Hey, Vince Russo said it too. I heard Vince Russo say it in the JCW ring.
But that's where it was headed. I mean, it's obvious. Their formula stinks. And as Rico says, I don't have to watch wrestling to know where they're going. I can watch the highlights, read who wins, and know where the storyline's going.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's not rocket science, guys. It's really not.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I sit here with my fiance and then we'll be clicking through channels and wrestling will come on. And I'll say, watch, you're going to do this. And they do it. I said, they're going to do this now. And they do it. And she goes, how do you know? I said, because this is things I was taught not to do.
all the bad stuff.
Rico, speaking of like current wrestling, like it's pretty atrocious, right? And I was just thinking today, and I'm like, you know what? Nobody is relating to any of this today, right? Like I really don't believe, especially people all our ages here. Mm-hmm. Like I'm not relating to Jey Uso grabbing his crotch and yeet, yeet, yeet.
What the hell does yeet even mean?
Right? That's just an example, but remember back in the day, like storylines, like I find the most real storyline that people can relate to is like Family Feud.
Yeah.
Fighting over a woman.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you have the Usos, they're brothers. Right?
Yeah.
Why don't we just
now they're back together?
Because they failed as singles. That's why the writing was on the wall. They're failures. That's why they put them back together. So, but I agree. Bodacious Suave, you make a very valid point. I can see you've had your head.
My head doesn't stop. But don't worry. You're going to see probably by March, this will be on TV because your Uncle Paul's listening and he's going to steal his idea because he doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
Well, I'll tell you who else is listening, and that's Vinny Russo. Vince is listening, our dear friend Vince Russo. And let's just say something may be brewing there, but we'll see. Only time will tell.
I guarantee you, Triple H saw what he said. WWE has ears.
Oh everywhere. Yeah, if he didn't see it, one of the flunkies showed it to him.
Yeah, someone did say. Someone said in the chat right now. Good point. They said many people can relate to wrestlers these days because none of them. Oh boy, I like this guy right here or girl, whoever this is. None of them are larger than life characters anymore. Wow, what a statement. What a statement.
Yeah, and that was Jim Cornette's philosophy. Mm-hmm. You had to work out. You had to, look like you were a pro athlete.
Yeah.
Like John Moxley. Why was he so famous? I mean, look, he has an average body.
He's his hair for years.
That helped, so you had his face. So, but people who are now got nothing against the Young Bucks, but they still look the same as they did 20 years ago or something.
Okay, Rico, what would have happened if you didn't go to the gym every day when you were in WWE? Someone would have been on your ass.
Oh yeah, agents, other wrestlers,
Yeah.
I don't know if he would be on my ass or try to get in my ass. I don't know.
Damn, Rico. What a statement and a half. What breaking news we are revealing here on Style in the Podcast here. Well, Johnny Ace does have a lot of bad things going on in his life right now. Probably some of the
they're just catching up.
Yeah.
He's not doing anything more worse. Everything he's done is caught up. Yeah. It's catching up to him.
Yeah.
And now he's paying for it. I don't know why Shawn Michaels is a writer, or Triple H is a writer. They were wrestlers. WWE used to have real writers, and they got rid of them.
And they only had a few, Rico, as well. See, now the problem that you have is I discussed this with Renee, I believe. We were on Power and Glory the other day here with Renee, and we were talking about back in his day, there were only like maybe a dozen writers, whereas now it's an ever revolving door of writers, and they're all from Hollywood. They know nothing about pro wrestling. They think that they can take that idea that they have in Hollywood and but then they fail because, again, the bottom line is you're not working with characters. Like the guy we talked about earlier, eyebrows, faded haircut, Mr. I think I can carry the company on not a chance. What's his name again? Bodacious one, I forget.
The Master Amir. I mean, Austin Theory.
Yeah. You're walking on fine glass right here. Thin ice.
Yeah, but like I said, you got to look the part. You got to act the part. You know, you got to project yourself being larger than life. That's how people get behind you. Like they got behind Austin. But, you know, when The Rock first came out, he was booed out of the arena, coming out waving a little American flag. Nobody cared about that. Yeah. They booed him.
Yeah, he was bland.
You know,
boring.
Huh?
He was.
It was boring. You know. I think they got behind the Real American thing with Kurt Angle because he actually won an Olympic medal.
You know what's going to be interesting about this whole situation, though, gentlemen? I just had a thought. The general fan, the part-time fan, has been so conditioned for the last at least 15 years to understand that this is all wrestling is now, what you see in WWE and AEW. That when Vince Russo now has reacted upon the true sports entertainment value of professional wrestling, they're not going to know what it is. The only ones who are going to know what it is are people like us, people who grew up watching it in the golden era, the attitude era, which is great because we need to pull those fans back in, whether they're now 35, 40, 50, 60 years old. Those are the diehard fans that were there in the beginning that have dropped off now.
Yeah, you know, and those are the ones that bring their kids and their grandkids to the events.
That's what I was going to
say. They buy the merchandise.
Yeah.
You know, grandpas and dads, moms get them for the kids.
Right.
You know, all that's gone. And, you know, you're not building a larger than life character anymore. I don't see any larger than life. I think Roman Reigns, John Cena when he first came out with this crap, and
we can't see him anymore. He's gone.
Well, who says I want to? So
no.
In fact, to tell you the truth, I haven't spoke to John since 2005.
That's criminal.
He's never reached out to me, and I still have the same phone number I had when I was a wrestler.
This is what we're a criminal, ladies and gentlemen, wrestling fashionistas. We were discussing this off air. For those of you who don't know, Rico and Kenny Bolin basically introduced John Cena to pro wrestling. They brought him in as the prototype. They teamed together. They went into WWE together. And when Rico left in 2005, not one time did John Cena reach out to Rico. That is criminal. I know whoever I come up with, I even, reach out to people now who I started with, a couple of years ago. I don't forget. You don't forget where you come from. But Hollywood has an interesting way of weaving its way through your mind. It's like in Stargate when the Goa'uld weave their way through the minds and corrupted people, or Stranger Things, as Will Byers is experiencing right now. Yeah, it kind of corrupts your mind. And but actually, Rico, I want to bring up something else. So John Cena is trying to cover up the whole smile thing. He recently went on a podcast with Mr. Street Fighter 2, Mr. Guile himself, from one of the greatest wrestling legacies of all time. Bodacious one, I know you know where I'm going with this. Cody Rhodes. Okay. He went on a podcast with Cody Rhodes, and he was trying to say that the reason he did the smile was because he was trying to convey the message that my character's dying on screen. And I wanted to smile to connect with everybody in the front row, to let them know that even though I was dying, I was okay. It was like a movie. Yes. Bullshit. So our dear friend who's going to be joining us on the Ultimate Truth podcast that we're going to launch soon, Mikey T, for a journalist, former journalist in the world of wrestling, he's going to be joining us. He texted me and he said, "Yeah, wrestling is not Star Wars, pal." So yeah, John Cena, what are you talking about? It's not Star Wars. You're not saying goodbye. You're not Luke Skywalker or Darth Vader.
Vader.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, what do you guys think? He's big on the Make-A-Wish, eh?
Yes.
There must have been at least one Make-A-Wish kid in that building.
At least.
Okay. I bet you that Make-A-Wish kid said, "John, I wish you win tonight for me.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
And WWE had the balls to do that.
Did you see the crowd reactions when he lost?
Because it makes no sense. It makes no
Yeah.
sense. They weren't. It was a pissed off reaction. Like, are you kidding me? Like Sin Bodhi said, Rico, come on. Who the hell gives up in a sleeper?
Right.
You go to sleep.
Right? And
if it's a alleged chokehold, the ref is supposed to get under there and check it. And if it is a chokehold, break it.
Did you not see the space
Yeah.
that there was?
Yeah. Yeah.
And his mouth was obviously open. When you're choking someone, the mouth closes.
Right. Yeah.
And the ginger tap of checking my, like, oh, I love you. Like, what the hell is this?
No, it was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. If you've got your super chat, your super thanks, load them up. Get ready. We're going to be here for a while, so we want you to engage with us. Give those in. We'll answer your questions live on screen, give you a shout out. That's what we're here for. So, but yeah, the whole tap out and everything else, it seems like John now going on Cody Rhodes' podcast is him just trying to do a PR job and cover it up because they know they goofed.
That's WWE though, because they own the podcast. So Mr. Bruce Pritchard for sure. It's all scripted.
None of my favorite human beings.
It's all scripted, and here's what you got to say. And John Cena's not an idiot. He's a very good talker. He knows, you know.
Yeah.
But
he's a great promo artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Of course.
If John Cena, my thing when I saw it, John Cena shouldn't have tapped. I thought right away Stone Cold, Bret Hart, WrestleMania 13.
Yeah, absolutely.
John Cena could have got the sympathy if he just went out.
Yeah.
And then people would have been stunned and been like, oh my God, did this just happen? But to gingerly, you screwed yourself. And if I paid $18,000 for a ticket,
I'll be asking for a damn refund.
Oh no, I'd be at WWE headquarters right now with I shouldn't be saying these things live, but you know, like going off. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. Yeah. It was an abysmal thing. But I still come back to that statement that Michael Cole made. You know, hey, you know, he said the end of sports entertainment. So I really think now, but here's the other thing I thought about. Sorry, before I forget, because there's so many things swirling around, so many topics on this. When Triple H turned around and jaw jacked with the crowd that night.
Yeah.
and when he hugged John, he had a smirk on his face. Now listen, is my Uncle Paul, because again, I'm not privy to this information, he hasn't told me, is he turning into the modern day Mr. McMahon character? Is this what Uncle Paul's plan is, to get himself back into the storyline as a modern day Mr. McMahon? What do you guys think about that?
Bodacious, you first.
Oh, I'm gonna go off.
Well, I'll go off.
You're already red in the face.
Total fraud. Total fraud. Yeah, I saw that. That looked so fake when he was hugging John Cena in the corner. I don't know if any of you guys watched the Unreal. Yeah, and he'd be there. Rico, I got a question. Touching your forehead. And, oh my God, John Cena, that was the best performance you ever did. You were made for this. Oh my God, I love you. Complete horseshit. Now, Rico, can you imagine Vince McMahon touching your forehead and you walk back to Gorilla and he's like, Rico, that was fantastic. I've never seen a performance ever like that before in my life. You were made for this. Would you be like, what the hell is going on here? That's what, guys, this is what Triple H is doing backstage. And then he takes pictures with you when you win the belt with the finger pointing.
I know.
And then he takes the belt off you 48 hours later.
Yeah.
Total fraud. Then to acknowledge the crowd and say, hey, I thought you would say it louder.
Yeah.
That means you know you fucked up.
Yeah. Or Rico, was it the plan? Like I said, do you think this is a well-orchestrated plan so that we create a new Mr. McMahon, Gerald Briscoe, Pat Patterson situation where now Triple H becomes the evil boss that's inserting himself into everything again and ruining things?
Well, I remember when Vince started being the storylines a lot more. And that's when the WCW and the Raw Wars and stuff like that. And people were leaving Vince's company. And he became a heel. And a real asshole heel of a boss. And then up rises Stone Cold, and what anybody that doesn't want to kick their boss's ass at one time or another.
Mm-hmm.
And they played that. And they played that for years. Vince would try to get Stone Cold. Stone Cold tried to get Vince. And it kept you glued to the TV. What's going to happen next? And they got Mankind involved, and everybody, Vince was trying to see, but he projected that on camera. I'm going to screw you. Then he copied Donald Trump. You're fired. Yeah. Stuff like that. But that was entertainment. And I don't think Vince was just trying to save his company back then because, like I said, everybody was leaving. So he's not going to leave his own company. Stone Cold already came from there. He stayed.
Yeah, he stayed. I'm going to jump right in here because one of our viewers here says, what's the payoff? Well, there's many layers to a story. I spent 10 years in Hollywood. I was a writer producer. I know what storytelling is. If you have a character like Triple H as an evil boss, automatically you have now created a story within a story that's going to get people's attention. If Triple H comes out now and capitalizes on this moment and comes in the ring and say, hey, yeah, I guess you didn't like that, did you? And admits it live on a microphone. But Aisha Suave, contain yourself right there.
He's too stupid.
But listen, yeah, he's maybe I don't know about Uncle Paul for that. But if they were smart to capitalize on that, trust me, it would draw in an audience again. And then if Triple H shot on Vince Russo, even more. Now
they don't do that. They don't acknowledge their competition. They don't.
Well, they should.
They're the geniuses, apparently, right?
No, they're not a genius.
I agree. I know,
good
but
car salesman, but Aisha Suave.
Amir,
a good car salesman can sell you a lemon, right?
Yeah, that's happened to me a few times.
Yeah, Rico, you know that, don't you?
Yep. When I was younger, yeah.
Is that Paul Heyman? Is that Paul Heyman? You think Heyman could do that?
Rico, do you think Paul Heyman could do that?
Can he sell you a lemon?
No, Paul Heyman can't. Just because I don't like the way it looks.
But okay,
but you think he could?
To a general fan audience, he can. I heard he's a great motivator, right? So.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, he's a great talker, and he's into his character, and I think in his character, and he put him in a storyline, he could sell ice to an Eskimo.
Well, he did. He sold that to a huge locker room back in the day that never got paid in ECW. So, I mean, hey, he was selling the dream that never happened.
Is he in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For what?
Fraud.
That's it. Carrying a walkie-talkie?
Just introducing Brock Lesnar, I guess.
Anyways, Amir, we have someone. I just want to give a shout out to David Bossman Buchanan, a longtime fan watching the show since we began. But if you just go up a little bit, there's somebody there named David Gold, 6294.
Where is this?
You might know that gentleman.
David Gold.
Let's see. I think he came and met you in Laval.
David Gold. Oh, David Gold.
You're in trouble here, pal.
Who is David Gold? Come on,
I did. You met him in Laval, and he brought you to your hotel.
Oh, David. Yes, I do recall now. Yes.
David.
Hey, nice. David. Nice to see you, David. A dear friend up there, our contingent up there in Canada, tuning in. We got people tuning in from all over the world. I got a text just a moment ago from somebody watching late night over in Paris, in France. You know a little bit about France, don't you there, Rico? You've been styling out in Paris for years.
Styling, and I even won their American Gladiator type show called Conquer Fort Boyard.
That's right.
They call it Keys to Fort Boyard. Yep. But when America went over, he called it Conquer Fort Boyard. That was in like 1992.
Great TV show, by the way. If anybody out there hasn't seen it, check out Fort Boyard or Keys to Fort Boyard, starring Rico Constantino. You'll find Rico in action there. He dominated the competition. That
was the Conquer Fort Boyard one.
Conquer Fort Boyard.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Rico, do you think Triple H has a lot of pull in the writing nowadays?
I don't know what's going on with the writing because
So you're
I don't even think they're writing. I think they just get in a room and say, okay, let's put him with him. No storyline, no nothing, not nothing.
because
You
I
know, they
mean,
just
for John Cena to lose, like I see it, you lose on your way out, but they made him lose his final 2 matches, which I find a little odd.
To the beanpole. I will bring that up again.
And
well,
you don't think Triple H could have like say fought for John Cena to if there's somebody above him and say, hey, listen, I don't think this is a good idea. Let him have his moment. We got the sick kids here, like like there was no benefit to how that all went.
no. Well, I remember in HWA when I was getting called up, I had to drop all 3 titles.
But you were going up at the time.
I was going up, yeah. But in OVW, I lost to Kenny Bolin in a loser leaves town match. Of course he cheated, but that's the way they end one career and start another career. I can't make any sense on how strong John Cena was as a face and let him go out like that. I don't understand that. If he loses, he loses, but just a guy who says never quit and he love taps him.
Well, here's the thing. Here's what I would have done, right? Here's what I would have done. Instead of sending John Cena out on a press junket, trying to explain away the goof, what I would have done is leaned into it. I would have had John lose that match, flip the switch, go back into heel mode on his way out, and then in the press junket said, I told you that I was going to kill pro wrestling on the way out, and just play it like that, and then build somebody else up in the background who's going to bring professional wrestling back up to the prominence. That's how I would have done it. Instead, they goofed it. They should have kept to the story because they already planted that story way back at the beginning of the year. He said he was going to destroy wrestling on the way out. Well, he did. WWE, he did. So he did exactly what he said, but they didn't capitalize on it. They fumbled the whole year from beginning to end. WrestleMania was one of the biggest botches in Las Vegas. Rico, you and I were there at WrestleMania time this past year. We weren't at the show. Don't get us wrong, ladies and gentlemen. We did not buy tickets. We were not there, but we were in the vicinity signing autographs, greeting fans and what have you. But yeah, they botched it. The Rock said he was coming for somebody's soul. That never had a payoff. None of that. The final boss, none of that. Instead, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, Rocky Maivia, just comes out and does a post on YouTube thanking John for all his success. There's no payoff. What the hell? What happened to the final boss? What happened to all this? Instead, we got that rapper, that little twerp, Travis Scott, come out and fumble the main event at WrestleMania. The whole year, John Cena's final run was just a botch. And I want to address a point here by one of our fans. He said a demoralization ritual of John Cena. I did think the same thing. It was a ritual. When you watch the end of the match, John Cena takes off his Nikes. He doesn't even wear wrestling boots. I don't know why. Can afford them. Takes off his Nikes. He's wearing some colorful socks that maybe a 20-year-old wears, or a teenager. He's wearing socks, and then he's looking all weird and sad into the camera, right? It seemed like a ritual of some sort. Like you're right, like you're saying, a demoralization ritual. Could it be a little ritual from Hollywood? Rico, you and I know the Hollywood is laden with weird stuff like that.
I know, but I know John Cena, and every time we went somewhere when we were up on, getting on the main roster,
yeah,
whatever town we were in, he had the colors of the local college.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He must have had 500 boots, and I don't know how many boy shorts, but he always matched. Because when I wrestled, we were in North Carolina, and he had the powder blue and white.
Yeah.
But so I know he has boots and gear,
I mean, here's the thing. I respect everybody in professional wrestling. We said this yesterday, right? But Aisha Suave, we respect anybody who trains, who gets in there and goes out and performs. We're not bashing anyone personally. We're commentating. We're doing commentary on a character, on a storyline, on what's taking place there. I just want to make that point clear. And also, if you're not already a member, make sure you become a member of the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe, like, share with your friends and family. Join us. Give us your questions. Accompany them with a super chat or super thanks. We're going to be here for a bit longer. Bodacious one, I can see the wheels turning inside your cranium. What have you been thinking about since we've been talking here? What's on your mind?
Well, there's another botch that happened. I don't know if you guys saw this week on NXT. A title changed hands because I think somebody forgot to kick out.
Yep, that's right, Rico. Tell Rico.
Rico, I don't believe you can blame the referee because a referee is taught to count 1, 2, 3. Right? Is that true?
Oh, when I was there, part of the company, you were supposed to know when you kick out. The referee is going to count one because Vince didn't want to tarnish the referee's reputation.
Right.
So he says if you lose and it's not the go home time, it's on you. It's not on the other guy. It's up for you to kick out. So we were always told, make sure. And at the 5 count,
yes.
Don't go to 4, break it 3, and you'll be safe, because you're in the moment. You'll hear 3 when you're choking as a heel, do it pulling the hair, raking the eyes. You break on 3. You never let the ref, because if he gets to 5, he will ring you out. We were told that.
So what happened was there was a fall, and it was a really cheesy pin, if you ask me. I don't know what happened, but the ref counted 3, and both wrestlers were stunned. Like, uh-oh. One looked at the referee and like kind of blamed the referee, but you can't do that. And fans too can't blame the referee because the referee has to count to 3. It's your job to kick out. But then, Rico, I have a question. You, as the laying on the mat, do you usually close your eyes or do you look at the referee to see what he's doing? Just out of curiosity, when he pins, do you try to keep track?
No, I don't look at the ref. Okay. I listen because his hand hits the mat.
Okay, but
he's yelling 1, 2, okay, and I already know to kick out.
That was my next follow-up. Does the referee go 1? Like, does he say it out loud?
Because says it real loud.
Okay, because I know sometimes when the referees come and they run and jump to do the pin, maybe when their knee hits the mat, you laying down, you might think that's the 1 count, right?
If it is, then I kick out on 1. Because Charles Robinson used to make a noise when he hit the mat.
So me, if I was a wrestler, I would listen to the 1, 2, 3. So I don't know how this girl messed it up. I really don't. But this has happened a lot this year in NXT. And guys in the chat, if you can tell how many times, but I'm going to say it's happened at least 5 times, if not more, where a botch finished because the superstar did not.
Was there a go home spot in this match?
That was, but she just didn't kick out, and she, I guess, didn't realize. But again, who is writing this shit? Who do you blame? Is it HBK? It's his show.
But okay, Bodacious one, let me jump in here. Let's talk about the age. Rico, we've talked about this. Again, when you entered pro wrestling, you debuted at 40. You already had tons of life experience. People in their 40s, when you debuted, were far more mature than people are today. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to trigger anybody. I'm not saying everybody. I'm saying there's a large contingent that are not as mature as when you were younger, Rico. Okay? You got a lot of these people in NXT who are probably what? How old is this girl? 24, 23?
Yeah, they're in their 20s.
In their 20s. They're seeking talent that is way too young, way too immature, way too inexperienced in life.
I'm glad you said a few people, because when I was 23, I became a law enforcement officer.
Right, but it was a different time, Rico.
Yeah, it was.
Mature. People had houses already when they were 20 years old. They got cracking on their stuff, and whatever. But now, there's a different generation, and my opinion is they're seeking talent, they're seeking athleticism over maturity, and true performers. And that is your problem right there. She was probably
Well, that's why you have NXT. This is where they work out the kinks.
Well, what are they going to do? Work it out for 5 years until they mature? 10 years?
Some people have been wrestling a long time and still haven't got all the kinks out.
I think it's an immaturity thing, Rico. I think honestly, she was probably in her head thinking about what pose she was going to strike for Instagram later that night. I'm probably.
I don't know. When I wrestled and I was given a match, not necessarily house shows, but on television, I went over that match in my head 100 million times, and I would rock and just go over it and say, okay, if this happens, I could do this. If this happens, I could do this. If somebody zigged when I'm supposed to zag, don't bury the referee,
right.
When you're supposed to go behind his back, and I would think of all possibilities. But in a house show, you have the ability to make a couple mistakes, and the fans aren't going to know unless you react.
Yeah.
They don't know it's a mistake.
Is NXT still popular? Bodacious Suave?
No, their ratings is kind of low.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, what they do is I think they'll bring in like TNA talent over and maybe a current WWE roster to try and elevate the show. But it's relatively the youngsters in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can see WWE doing that because when I got called up and was the stylist, even though I was a heel there and a heel in OVW when I left, I would go back down to OVW and wrestle, and the crowd would pop.
Mm-hmm.
I did that 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
Go down and help the talent that's coming up or bring people. Because we used to, there's a amusement park there in Louisville.
Is that the Corral? Is that the Corral?
No. If you said it, I'd know. But we used, they'd bring in people from current WWE TV and have us wrestle with OVW talent. And OVW was on TV once a week. So that would draw more people into the venue.
Let's go back just for the benefit of the viewers here. Let's go back to this Vince Russo Triple H thing here for a little bit here. And then Rico, I don't know how much longer you're going to stick on with us, but Matthew,
I got a few minutes, and it's time for me to change from the stylist to the ranch hand.
To the ranch hand. So we're going to go a couple more minutes with Rico, but Bodacious One and I will keep on. So go tell your friends and family about that and stay tuned and keep watching us here. I want to go back to the Vince Russo Triple H thing because this is the hottest news of professional wrestling. And despite what people have said about Vince Russo over the years, guess what? His brand, every pun intended, his brand of entertainment has worked because now he's put JCW in this brand new position, right? The only obstacle I see in their way, and I'm not sure if they're willing to change that, is the fact that they are geared toward a mature audience. Rico, I know you haven't seen much of it, but they do cuss. I mean, they cuss. They say the F word on their shows in promos. So that's one thing.
Did they get beeped out on television?
No, because they're not on TV yet. I don't
believe. Oh, okay.
But
once television starts, believe me, it's going to go, especially at a certain hour.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I did the Adrian Street character, my matches had to come in the second hour.
Right. So that even then, that's a lot of censorship. Wow. Just for the character alone. Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Never knew that. I could see that though. That must mean Goldust must have been censored then too. I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, especially after I think it was Piper stripped him off of his Goldust suit and he was wearing a bustier, garters, ladies' underwear. Roddy Piper beat the crap out of him.
No, Vince has got a great mind a great mind for the business for sure.
Oh yeah,
he does.
Oh yeah, he does.
He's
See,
proven.
and he will connect with people. Vince used to do that.
Right. He's
With
done it right.
we didn't like the French, so we brought on La Resistance. Then when we were having our troubles with Iran, he brought in the Iron Sheik.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Sergeant
started
Clark.
pushing him, put the belt on him.
Yeah. Yeah. See, that's the thing. Is Vince does the same thing. He's in the headlines right now.
Yeah. And I even though the difference between Vince and James is Jimmy will not move forward in the future. He still does things like it was in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Vince is more, he's moved forward and trying to take the business to a new level type thing. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, but
Yeah,
I think yeah,
he'll put his pulse on the system or whatever and see what triggers people, good or bad, and then he'll make a storyline out of it.
What Vince has done, what Vince Russo I'm talking about, his in one fail sweep within a couple of weeks only, back in a wrestling ring after 20 years, he's in the headlines. Now, that's saying something right there. And I tell you what, when I saw that promo, when I saw him cut a promo on my Uncle Paul in the middle of that ring, I was gripped again. It reminded me of old school. Here we go, the Monday Night Wars. This is what we tune in for here. Now, you see the competition, you make yourself better. This is where AEW should have capitalized a long time ago. They should have attacked WWE. Whatever they were doing, do it differently. Don't have the same entrance as them. Don't light your arena the same that they do. Do something different. Go into a promo, make references, take shots at them. But they didn't do this. Now, Vince Russo's coming in hot and heavy. I predict, again, I know a deal's going to come for them. They're going to have to clean up the cussing for sure. If they do that and they keep that sort of storytelling, behind the scenes promos going, there's, again, like Vince Russo said, for a story, and I know this, you have to have a narrative, a thread pulling you along. WWE and AEW don't have threads. They don't have a narrative. There's no major propelling story that's pulling all the matches forward. It's just match. And that's it.
Yep.
In a nutshell.
Yep. What I was told when I was in OVW, a house show leads to television shows. Television shows lead to pay-per-views. And all the pay-per-views lead to one road.
Yeah.
WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And you need to pull the people through the house shows, through the television, through the pay-per-view, all of them. You got to maintain a story.
Yeah.
And that's what gets them to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Because they've been listening to this story for a year. And then WrestleMania, that's when everything starts new. And they repeat the same thing all year. They get two guys together, a feud, and then they have sub feuds that go along with it. And then you got, your low card guys. And I was a mid card guy, so I knew what my story would do. And especially when I became the Adrian Street character.
Yeah, no, like I said, and the ratings prove all this. You look at the SmackDown ratings, what are they hovering around at, Bodacious Suave? 1 million and under? Okay, let's go back to your time, Rico. Wrestling used to draw, and that's just in the United States, by the way. With these numbers are just the U.S. Back in the day, the height of the Monday Night War, pro wrestling held a share of over 10 million viewers a week between WCW Nitro and Monday Night Raw in the States alone. So where are all these other people? Where have all these other people dropped off? There were millions of viewers in the UK. For SmackDown, for Raw, the numbers right now are abysmal. I mean, it's just it's there. It's clearly evident. No one's
because of the product. It's the product.
Yeah,
they're not. WWE is not giving them a reason to watch. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I'll be channel surfing, and I'll see it, and like I said, tell a fiance, okay, this is going to happen, that's going to happen,
Yeah.
And she just looked up because she knows nothing of wrestling.
Right.
Zero. She's a professional barrel racer. She's won a few buckles and stuff like that. And so, wrestling that's why I don't think I get recognized here, which doesn't bother me. I like my peace and quiet.
Yeah.
So, well, I'm going to have to say go because it's time for me to take care of my 4 horses, 3 Great Danes.
4 horses, huh? Yeah.
Yep. 15 chickens. And I got to feed the water kids tonight.
Awesome. Okay. Well, Matthew and I are going to stay on. We're going to stay on with you here. So load up your super chats and your super thanks and ask us questions. I'm sure you got tons for us right now, or opinions that you want us to put on the screen here. But yeah, Rico, we will see you next week. We'll have our special guest, I'm sure, next week lined up there with us.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Rico, for joining us here on your podcast today. Styling podcast.
Bye, bodacious one. Have a good one up there in Canada.
Thanks, Rico. Thanks a lot.
All right.
Take care.
Thank you, Rico.
I hope I helped. Have a good night, Master.
God bless you, brother. All right, we'll talk to you later, Rico. Bye. Okay, so Bodacious Suave. We have a lot of things that we just brought up here. Things are getting hot and heated in our chat.
I'm sweating. I think I'd open the window here.
Yeah, you see in the chat there, people are getting hot and steamy. There's a war of words going on there. A bunch of truths and untruths are getting thrown around there. And what are you thinking about what you're seeing going on here?
They have a good eye. They're just as knowledgeable as us.
Some of them.
I'm the nice guy. I said I was going to be the face today, right? You're following the heel storyline, so good on you, pal.
It looks like we do have a jabroni in the chat, a troll. You see him right there, Matthew? You see him there? See that guy?
I don't pay attention. It's okay. I'm not put on this earth to please everybody, so it's okay.
No, exactly. We're not here to please everybody. You're entitled to your opinion, but there's also reality, and then there's also fantasy. So make sure that you're understanding what is reality and what is fantasy. I'm going to eliminate this guy from the chat here because he's getting on my nerves here. And we're going to get rid of, we don't put up with that kind of content. So bye, pal. So yeah, anyway, now back to the regular talk here with our decent fans here. Guys that understand. Hey, you know what? At the end of the day, you know what? When the hammer goes down, when the hammer is dropped, or the guillotine.
I hope he logs back in under a different username.
Well, he could log back in all he wants. At the end of the day, it's a free country, right? For now,
Amir laying the smackdown.
No, that was the guillotine right there. I guillotined it right off from the elbow.
The comment from Larry, I like it. So
yeah. So now So anyway, getting back to real talk. Getting back to real talk here. Real talk, right?
We're live, pal.
We are live, pal. And for anybody who doesn't know what that reference is, hey, Bodacious Suave, bring that up because we always say we're live, pal. So come on, what is it?
Go do your homework. You must know that line. That's from.
I know that line, but maybe some of our viewers don't.
I think it's 1995 in your house pay-per-view. Psycho Sid's doing a live promo before his match, and he fumbled his words. Mm-hmm. And he's like, no, let's start over. And JR just looked at him and goes, we're live, pals.
Brilliant. If you haven't seen that, go back and watch the clip. And Hank, Triple H, my Uncle Paul, just so you know. Okay, Hank, I'm just responding to you. I see your comment right there. So I got some of the comments here. People were talking about Drew McIntyre, LA Knight. Again, 2 guys who should arguably be sitting on the top of the WWE food chain. But the problem is they don't have any competition. I mean, who are they going to fight for the umpteenth time? CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, Mr. Sam Smith, Dollar Tree knockoff, Mr. Becky Lynch, Seth Rollins. Who are they going to fight? Maybe they could do a match. Maybe they could have Becky Lynch throw her hat into the ring and take on one of these giants.
Yeah, sure. When she's scared of 45-pound AJ Lee skipping to the ring. Like, come on.
Well,
come on. But you're called Da Man, and you're scared of a girl skipping to the ring, and you're like, oh, it just drives me nuts.
I don't know, man. I don't know what, I don't know what. I think, like I said, when you lay out a story, you're supposed to lay it out and think about it from beginning to end. I saw an interview with the Duffer Brothers talking about Stranger Things. Of course, I'm a big fan of Stranger Things coming up next week, second half of the final season. But they know exactly where they're going with the story. They knew from day one. They laid it all out. They knew what the little twists and turns were. This is where you're having a problem. If you had a board meeting at the beginning of the year in a wrestling company and said, okay, this is where I want to go midway and at the end of the year, this is our whole 12 months mapped out, then you don't have a problem. You make tweaks here and there if the audience aren't getting it, but you have an overall arc of where you're going with your story. And that's what's been missing. And that's why it looks discombobulated.
Well, you're a former Hollywood writer, right?
Yep.
It'll be what, a year and a week and a half of Netflix taking over?
Yep.
You think it was successful?
Absolutely not. I think it looks exactly the same as what it did a year and not and a half, a year and 7 months ago when it was still on TV.
I agree, because I don't see any change in their formula whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
It's just constant recycled trash.
Mm-hmm.
No new talent, no new stars being developed. Your whole top, 5, 6 stars are all 45 and up.
Mm-hmm.
So that tells me you can't develop anybody. But it looks like they're trying to push Austin Theory. But we'll see where that goes.
But Matthew, let's talk about this for a minute here. Okay, we've said it before. You've got, how many names can we name off that are in the top in the WWE? You got this guy, Eyebrows, Austin Theory, right? Yeah. You've got Roman Reigns. You've got Drew McIntyre. You got CM Punk, Cody Rhodes. You have who else?
AJ Styles, Randy Orton.
LA Knight, Randy Orton, AJ Styles. Who else?
Brock Lesnar.
These guys are on their way out. Okay. Who else?
CM Punk, we said.
Yep.
Cody Rhodes.
Okay.
I don't know. The Samoans, there's like 100 of them.
Okay. You got the Samoan dynasty or the Samoan island.
And then the rest don't even make TV. They just sit in catering and watch the monitors all night.
Okay. So we had a difficult time listing names. So let's go through the golden era. Okay. At one time.
The floor's yours. Go.
Mr. Perfect. Bret the Hitman Hart, the British Bulldog, The Undertaker, the $1 Million Man Teddy DiBiase, Jake the Snake Roberts, the Barbarian, the Warlord, the Bushwhackers, the Beverly Brothers, the Nasty Boys, the Legion of Doom, Rick the Model Martel, the Rockers, Earthquake, Dino Bravo, Tugboat, the Mountie.
Jim, that's a nice teleprompter you have in front of you, eh, pal?
I'm not watching it till I'm looking at you, right? So again, right there, I didn't even have to think. I didn't have to reach to list off guys that are at the top or what is considered the mid card. You and I just now had to reach for names. We had to reach and scratch our heads thinking, who? So that tells me that, again, there's no effort that's been put into 75% of these characters because I don't know who they are. And we've seen them. We see them all the time. Heck, Logan Paul, but we completely forgot about him because obviously he's not that important.
That's the thing. They're not creating any wow moments. They're creating wow moves for 3 seconds, and then nobody remembers any of this stuff.
I see some of our fans here, some in Jacob Fatu. Yeah, he's a great wrestler. In fact, he's won it now, but again, he's not getting enough of a push because otherwise we would have remembered, right? He needs to be more front and center. Now, he's a traditional pro wrestling character. I do like him. All right. I know there's a lot of people we don't like, but I do like him. I do like Drew. I do like, I like CM Punk to a point. There are LA Knight, of course. I like LA Knight. I like Karrion Kross. Nothing but great things to say about these characters, but we need more. This is what I was trying to make when I illustrated that point, talking about the golden era. I could list off more. We could go on.
And you can name a ton of good matches and moments, right?
Yeah.
I seriously cannot, and I'm not kidding, guys. I've had this conversation with other people off camera. I cannot tell you a wow moment in the last 10 years. I cannot.
Right. Yeah.
Because it's the same thing. It's Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins for the 105th time. It's AJ Styles versus this person 105 times. There's no story. It means nothing. There's no, like, I don't know. If I beat you, like, no consequence. If I beat you, well, I'm going to, take your girlfriend. And it's just nothing. Nothing makes sense. It's just a match with no meaning.
Right. You have to have a backstory to something. If somebody has something they bring to the ring that means something to them, a family heirloom or whatever it is, it could be a small little story plot point like that. That has to be taken, like you said, somebody's mom or something like that, or even that angle, as ridiculous as it seemed back in the time. Dominic Mysterio, the man who doesn't bathe himself, that he was the illegitimate son of Eddie Guerrero. Fantastic. Okay, now you've created a story other than Rey Mysterio accidentally bumps into Eddie Guerrero in the locker room, which, by the way, there's no interview set anymore, which, again, that's another pet peeve of mine. I used to love those beautiful interview sets, Bodacious Suave. Remember SummerSlam when they had the SummerSlam logo behind and Mean Gene would interview the guys? It was all proper. It was all perfectly lit. You didn't hear the ruckus of the arena behind you while you're trying to hear what the guy's saying. I mean, whoever's bright idea was to do that, I mean, I don't know. That's not exactly genius, but I digress. It was a plot point that wasn't just two guys bumped into each other backstage. Bodacious one, are you lost for words?
Yeah, I think today you're getting on my nerves with Dominic Mysterio, because I want to bring up a point, and I don't know if people know this, but WWE was doing like a lot of copying not lately, but like at the beginning of the year when him and Rhea Ripley were put together, and he would come out with her and she's dressed like China and he gives her a bouquet of flowers. Go look back to 2002. That was Eddie Guerrero and China.
Okay. Yes.
Right?
Yes, it was a complete direct rip-off.
Mamacita.
Yeah.
And what's Rhea Ripley called now? Mammy?
Yes.
Jeez, I wonder where that came from. Once again, recycled formula.
We got a super chat here. Yes, somebody, again, use your super chats. You will get your question appearing on the screen. We will address it. We will interact and give you a shout out. That's what they're there for. Use the super chats or super thanks, and we will bring you on into our podcast. So Mason says, any thoughts on Jesse Ventura being banished to the pre-show so Stephanie could take his spot? Funny how he reluctantly added Hogan to his Mount Rushmore. So I presume this was Saturday night's main event.
Yep.
So Jesse relegated to the pre-show. I think that was a slap in the face, Mason. I think Jesse Ventura is one of the greatest of all time. He's got one of the greatest abilities when it comes to commentary, and there's no way he should have been pushed to the pre-show. The man is a Hall of Famer. He is a legend. He's done a bunch of stuff for himself outside of the wrestling world. He's been governor of Minnesota. He's been in movies. He's done TV shows, talk shows. The man's got a tremendous mind, and I think that's a travesty. Reluctantly added Hogan to his Mount Rushmore, of course, because they had heat back in the day when he wanted to create the union, and then Hogan ratted him out to Vince. But again, that was a different time. They were both younger. I'm sure that's past. Matthew, what do you think about this situation about Jesse being relegated?
I'm sure that's Triple H. Let's put my wife out there.
I don't know why Stephanie was on commentary. I mean, I respect.
Why? But that's what they do. That's how you stay on top.
Yeah.
Triple H, Stephanie, Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, Bruce Pritchard. They'll always be on top.
Yeah, I know. It's sad. I mean, I will try and reach out to Uncle Paul over the holiday season. I do respect Stephanie and Uncle Paul because they are,
family.
Part of the family.
You are still family. Don't forget it, pal.
But at the end of the day,
you know what? Let's make an angle. Go off. Turn heel. Cut them out of the family. It's Christmas. Get the hell out of here, brother.
Well, watch this space, because obviously someone is taking a shot at WWE and my Uncle Paul right now. Will I align with that individual? Or will I not? Will I align with the man who's leading the charge to change professional wrestling.
That would be a hot angle, right? Because I'm just talking. You could join Russo if you wanted to, and stab your Uncle Paul in the back.
I could,
but then the happy story is you turn on Russo and you and Triple H hug in the middle of the ring, and the family's back together.
There could be. Speaking of which, if you want to get your hands on the Master Emir 8x10 signed, they are $25, including shipping and handling here in the United States. You can either leave a super sticker, super chat with your address, or use the email address associated with this channel. If you want me to send one out for you for New Year's, I will sign it. I will send it to you within the United States, $25, including shipping and handling. Or you could just leave a comment on this video when it finally posts to YouTube. But yeah, I mean, this is an interesting point. I could very well align myself with Vince Russo. The thought is rather tempting, in fact.
You know, your ass will be out of the will, real fast.
You know what? Does it really matter at that point? Does it matter? If I'm part of a new wave of entertainment, if the younger comes out and challenges from promotion to promotion, interesting. You'll have to wait and find out what happens, ladies and gentlemen.
This could get interesting.
Yeah.
If you can get a hold of Russo and get on JCW.
Matthew, it's already done. I've already been in contact.
All right, don't tell everyone on live here. Wait.
I'm not telling everybody live here. I'm just saying this is a hypothesis. I haven't made my decision yet. I'm still weighing out my variables.
I'm just talking out loud. It would be so funny if you showed up like full blue blood gimmick.
Well, that's how I dress on a regular basis. As you see in these photographs, how I perform. That's how I wrestle. Bodacious Suave.
Right.
All right. They don't call me the Master Emir for nothing. You know, I'm bringing back wholesome Victorian era
class, elegancy,
storytelling, psychology, passion, character. These are the elements that are missing, and these are the elements that I see within Vince Russo that he's trying to bring back. So yeah, food for thought. I'm gonna consider this one very intently, Bodacious Suave, very intently. Yes, indeed, bro. Exactly. Indeed, bro. Yeah, keep your eye on that. We'll see what happens there. Like I said, all jokes aside, very serious about that, what we just discussed right there.
Yeah, that's good, Larry. Larry, that's a good one.
What did Larry say?
You show up on Russo's show and then Jim Cornette like just goes off on it.
Can you
believe what's on TV these days?
I'm sure he would, and I'd be stuck between a rock and a hard place because Rico is good friends with Jim Cornette. I've said great things about Jimmy Cornette, about James E. Great.
Yeah, I don't know his beef with Russo. Rico told us, eh?
He does have a beef with Russo. Apparently, it runs deep. So again, you know, which side do you go on? I mean, I don't have any beef with Jim Cornette or with Vince Russo. I respect them both. I respect Vince now, especially for what he's doing. I mean, this is the thing. Someone mentioned there, could we get Mick Foley on the show? I don't know about that. You know, Mick's a nice guy. I met Nick with Rico. In fact, I met Mick over WrestleMania weekend last year in Las Vegas, Nevada. He was very, very kind to me. I was surprised how tall he was, Bodacious Suave. It's like 6'4", 6'5".
I met him also here in September. I think it was September. That's how I met Jason.
Yeah. Nice guy.
Yeah.
But he's very opinionated about his views, politics, and all that. And I think that was one of the reasons he left WWE, through political discourse, because obviously WWE, you know, Triple H works for President Trump. Linda works for President Trump, which is a strange conundrum that they're on Netflix, because Netflix, I believe, are for the other camp. But we're not going to digress into politics.
No, I don't think Mick Foley. I don't think he does podcasts.
I think he does his own story time. He reads children's books at Christmas in front of.
Yeah, he does. But I mean, there's a fee for that, right? Like he does do. I think he does it quite often, right, to keep himself busy, and it's good for his mind. He does like comedy shows and tells stories. So that's what I went to, and it does him good.
Yeah.
Because just to keep his brain going, because he does have a lot of CTE trauma from all those bumps. So
I respect the heck out of Mick Foley. I mean, like I said, when he came into WWE, I must admit, I was not a fan of the Sacco gimmick. I thought that diluted the Mankind gimmick totally. When he originally came in as Mankind, the guy who hang out in the locker room, boiler room, and had the mandible claw, that was a brilliant gimmick for his persona and for his look, for his body.
And he would pull his hair.
Brilliant.
And then,
he had great feuds with the Undertaker that year, dude. 96.
I remember I was 8 years old. I was 8, and I was a fan of Mankind. I was a little bit scared and whatever, but I liked him.
The music. So again, in many ways, Pat Patterson, Vince McMahon, the creative team back then, they actually did Mick Foley the world of, because essentially without Mankind, Mick Foley wouldn't have gone to places he went, because he didn't get there as Cactus Jack. He didn't.
McMahon wasn't a fan of him.
No.
McMahon didn't want him. There was a lot of convincing that had to be done for Vince to bring him in, and that's why Vince put him under a mask, because he didn't like his face.
Well, the mask just made him get over, because that was a marketable thing. The mask was marketable. Speaking of marketable, you see this mug that I have right here, Bodacious Suave.
I do. Tell everyone where you got it.
Yeah, it's an $80 mug from company Le Creuset from France.
Don't drop it, eh?
I'm not going to drop it, but they're going to be available soon. I'm going to get little versions of this, the Masters mug, same color as my glove, same color as our logo. Yeah, you too can drink tea or coffee.
No, then we have to come up with our own alcohol line. They can take shots of Masterclass out of it.
Exactly. And also, Matthew, those shades, those eyeglasses that you're wearing now, they're soon going to become available. You're a modern day Bret the Hitman Hart. Yeah. We're going to have those available. Once our shop, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to build a YouTube store where you can order all the merchandise you want from us, so you can take a part of the revolution of professional wrestling, the masters of wrestling. Become a master wherever you go. Shout loud and proud.
I will say these are not safety glasses. They are prescription glasses. So in case everyone thinks these are safety glasses, no, they're not. It's because if I wear regular glasses, it'll make me look sophisticated when I'm really not. Mm-hmm. So, and because I play sports, I just thought this was easy for me. So I pop the sunglasses lens out, and then I get prescription lens. And then that's how I get these made. So they're Oakley's.
Good idea.
A lot of De Niro costs.
A lot of De Niro. There's a lot of De Niro that goes in a lot of things. That's why, again, load up your super chats, your super thanks. If you want us to address your question live on the screen, give you a shout out. If you just want to thank our channel with a donation, we greatly appreciate it. That's what keeps us going here. That's what keeps us fueled to deliver you the best of the best, week in, week out, sometimes 5 days a week. Bodacious Suave.
What do you do? We're staying busy there, pal.
We are. We're staying very busy. And someone else just brought up in the chat here, MJF. Okay, let's touch on this for the last part of the show, or as we move on a little bit here. What do you think?
He's right. He's right, though. That comment is 100% accurate. It is.
What do you think of? No, it's not Adam Rose. My Uncle Paul. I am the master. I'm here. Remember that name. Okay, you're gonna be seeing
Adam Rose put on a ton of weight.
Yeah, I didn't even know who Adam Rose was. All right,
he was a wrestler for WWE 10 years ago.
Yeah, well, I didn't know who he was. I had to look him up. But by the by, what do you think about MJF? Because I got my opinions about this little prick. What do you think about MJF?
It's become a good talker, very talented. For me, it's a little oversaturated now. He was hot when he came out, and he even plays like that out in public. So I'll give it to him. I'll give that to him. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. It's the same thing over and over and over and over, and I'm past it.
MJF, I had this issue when he first came out. I thought he was blindingly fantastic in AEW, because this is a guy that was essentially bringing kayfabe back, which we greatly need. Kayfabe needs to come back immensely, everywhere, podcast or not, he needs to come back. Great when he first came in. Like you said, he got oversaturated. They made him look weak when they made him team with other guys. But the one problem I have with MJF is that he takes it too far. when he's around kids and family at conventions. And again, have your opinions out there, but I'm a believer in being a role model, right? So again, we have fun here. We criticize things. We do all this and that, but we don't wish any ill boding. We're not going to tell your kids to, like he's done, F off. We're not going to be saying any profanities around them. We're not going to bring up subjects that make people feel uncomfortable. We're just having fun. We're entertaining, like good old fashioned pro wrestling. But I think he takes it too far, Bodacious Swat. And that's, to me, what makes me not like the guy.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but it's 2025, and telling a kid to F off and put on YouTube is funny to people nowadays, right?
To some degenerates.
And then these people say, look what he said to me. Well,
that's stupid. Someone telling you to F off, that's nothing to be proud of. That's something to think, hey, this guy should apologize to me. I disagree with that.
I agree, but we're all different, right?
Yeah.
So, you're the good guy and he's the vicious heel.
Look at this guy right here. You see this guy right here in the chat? I see it. This must be a new. If you're not a subscriber already, I suggest you hit that subscribe button. This Big Daddy. He calls himself Big Daddy Trips. Is this guy making fun of my Uncle Paul right here? Is it Trips? Okay. Because he's refusing to address me by my name.
How about just answer the question, Amir?
I'm not going to answer the question unless it's accompanied by a super chat or a super thanks. That's what they're there for, Bodacious Suave. Then I will answer the question. I do appreciate the humor there, Big Daddy. But yeah, we're only answering questions with super chats and super thanks, my man.
You notice I noticed the comments for me are like very kind. We had Navid, my uncle, David, the Boss Man Buchanan.
Yep.
You're a real heel. You're playing the character the right way.
Listen, I'm not a heel. I'm just telling everybody the way that it is. I'm just bringing back a little bit of the old class, chivalry, as it were, back into professional wrestling. And again, because I speak the truth, somebody, hey, the truth hurts. Bodacious Suave.
It does. Everyone's sensitive today, right?
Yeah. Everyone is sensitive today, man. Indeed. I mean, it's but then again, that could be the reason why so many wrestling companies have their hands tied. We know it's even happened in media and
but I don't understand that, because if you look at lyrics to music, right, there's a lot of swearing, there's a lot of raunchiness in music videos, there's a lot of sexual
satanic,
right, in movies, music videos, TV shows. So I don't know why we're so sensitive. This stuff is around us nonstop.
Yeah, well,
back in our day, wrestling was like, well, I'm going to kick your butt. Well, I'm going to kick your butt even harder. Now it's like, you know what? You take your candy ass, you piece of,
Yeah.
It's different.
You again, I worked in the entertainment industry. I was a writer, producer. You can be, this is the problem when you let nutcases into the production line. You can be creative. A person who's intellectually strong and understands storytelling and entertainment can write a wonderfully entertaining story without having to go to those places. The same can be said in professional wrestling. The only reason it's used is because people use that kind of degenerate storytelling because they don't have a mind enough to be creative to find a pleasing, version, internationally appealing version of telling that story. They resort to the cuss. It's like someone who doesn't have a good grasp of the English vocabulary. You notice how much they just throw in cuss words here and there that the cuss word doesn't need to be there. They're just throwing it in there because they can't think of the word to use in place of, so they throw it in there. And this is a sad, sad reality that we've gotten ourselves into. And
well, look, we don't really need to learn how to write no more. Google will spell the word for us.
We're doomed. We're doomed. You and I are not, Bodacious.
Well, that's why we both don't have children, because we knew they would just be dumb kids, right?
Well, I often wonder, it's like, what would the future be like for them in 10 years? If AI has taken over in 10 years, then what's the point? What are they going to do? What do they have to look forward to? What are they going to do?
Scary. I don't like AI.
No, it's and I see one of our viewers here said WWE plays it too safe, which is another problem. Yes, indeed.
Well,
you are very true.
Yes, but that's a good point because I wonder why. Oh my God, man, everyone's on your case, tonight, Amir?
Yeah, because you know what? Obviously, these people don't have their glasses on or something, or they're looking through a different pair of glasses here. But no, absolutely not. This is the master Amir you're looking at. My uncle is Paul, just so you know. Bottom line, period. End of discussion.
So, there's a comment there that says WWE plays it safe, but then I just wondered, why do they play it safe if you're on Netflix? You don't have TV like Fox or UPN or whatever that's going to say, hey, like Rico was saying, he'd have to go on in the second hour.
Mm-hmm.
If you're on Netflix, and there was talk last year, oh my God, the Attitude Era is coming back, etc. Mm-hmm. You're on Netflix and you're still giving us this trash product. Nothing, and I mean nothing has changed.
I think we can agree on it. I think we've hit that on the head so many times now, Bodacious Suave. It's pretty much we know it is, right? Bottom line. There's nothing else we can do about it at this juncture.
No, but I don't know. What's being discussed at these board meetings to plan ahead and to make more money and etc.
Probably what's being discussed is, hey, how can we bump up our portfolio here and show we've made X amount of dollar at this show by selling these tickets? So when we sell this product to Saudi Arabia, they're going to be paying us top dollar so we can get our investment back. That's probably all that's going on, Bodacious Swab. I'm not there. I don't know. I'm only hypothesizing. This is not fact.
You're right, but it's a shame that they don't care about their product and to give us valuable entertainment instead of just stealing our money. Not my money.
Someone said here that WWE buys TNA. TNA is over. I'm pretty sure they already own it.
No, that won't happen. That won't happen. So right now there's a partnership.
Yeah.
WWE did that to keep AEW away.
Yeah.
Before I say AEW, someone's contract expires, they jump ship. So it's like, hey, we'll just partnership a little bit to help you out. They're just monopolizing everything.
Yeah. Yeah. It's yeah. They
look at England had a pretty hot wrestling indie run there about 10 years ago or so.
What was it called?
There was a lot of independent shows, and the wrestling market was hot in the UK. What did WWE do? NXT UK.
Yeah, that's true. They did.
So if something's hot, don't worry. They got ears everywhere. They know what we're saying. They're not going to spend too much time on it, probably because of our who knows. But they got ears everywhere, and they're constantly listening. That's what they have people on their payroll. Go find this, and
yeah. No, I think so. I mean, there's a lot of things. I thought you were mentioning Simon Miller there. Of course, as you know, I put out a challenge to Simon Miller.
I don't know who that is.
Oh yeah, I met him. Him.
You mean Simon Dean?
No, Simon Dean. I met, yes, but I mean Simon Miller. He's a British wrestler, and I did.
Yes, you did.
I did challenge him to come out and step into the ring with the master. But
you met Simon Dean?
I've met Simon Dean. He's been on our show. He's been on the podcast. All you got to do is look back in the archive of videos. I did an interview with him, sit-down interview with Simon Dean.
How was he? He was good?
Excellent. True class act, true gentleman. He's got a good head on his shoulders. He's moved on from the wrestling industry now. He's doing exceedingly well. Loves his family, loves his life, loves his extracurricular. I think he's doing acting as well now. He's doing some theater stuff. He loves all that. Tremendous guy. Got nothing but good things to say about Simon Dean.
I used to like that character. I thought it was pretty comical.
Great. It was a great character. Again, put him next to a lot of these characters today. Well, lack of characters, and he's freaking awesome. He was even awesome then. Like I'm saying, it's just there you go. Apples and oranges. Look at the difference, right? Yeah. Something that even some people may have thought, it's not that strong. Still stronger than 90% of what we see today.
Yeah. Hey, you ever hear from Robert Conway?
Robert? Oh, yes. I spoke with Robert. Yes.
I like
For those
Robert
of you who don't
Conway.
know, the Iron Man, Rob Conway, former member of La Resistance.
You should try and get him on.
I have. Rob Conway has appeared on our show.
I remember that, but get him on live, pal.
Yeah, I'll reach out. I'll put it in my Rolodex. I still have a Rolodex.
I remember I used to love Robert Conway because when they were tag team champions, La Resistance, I'm from Montreal, Quebec. They used to come out with the Quebec flag, and he was a French sympathizer. And I used to go to school and say, "I'm a French sympathizer," and I didn't even know what the hell that meant, But I just thought I thought they were cool.
No, they are. They're very good. Great team. All of them. Sylvain Grenier, and of course our dear friend René Dupree from the Café de René. Great teams. I'll reach out. Someone said again, it's Stevie Richards. My comment, how advantage this bring back Vince McMahon character, bringing him back under TKO.
No, he wouldn't do it.
He wouldn't do it.
No, if he's not the boss, he's not doing it. He's not going to take any direction from anybody, right?
What do you think? What do you think Vinnie Mac is doing right now, Bodacious Suave?
I think he's doing.
I think
he's having probably parties like P. Diddy is in his mansion.
What? You're going on a limb. You're suggesting that he's having parties right now at this particular while we're going live here. You think he's having parties?
I believe so.
I think totally.
I don't think he's sitting up with his Hugh Hefner robe and slippers and watching television with the clicker in his right hand. I'm pretty sure he's probably might be at the gym, leg pressing 600 pounds.
Right.
And saying, Master Amir, I know you can do 16 plates. Well, guess what? I can do 18 plates, and I'm 80 years old. And
I don't think you do 18 plates anymore. I don't think you do 18 plates anymore.
I don't know. He's full of. He's on the gas again still. He looked pretty good.
But I actually went back, Bodacious Suave. I did squats for the first time because, squats are not that great for you. Over time, they're just messing up your neck, your back, your hips. But I thought I'd go back to do squats the other day. But it just goes to show you, when you do a squat, if your back's kind of jacked a little bit or whatever, if you've got some pain, you can't do nearly anywhere near what you can do when you take that pressure off your back on a leg press. Leg press is so much safer, ladies and gentlemen, as you
lunges, do lunges.
Lunges too. Lunges are great. Hey, Cool Fool, if you want us to answer a question on the air live here, use your super chat or your super thanks. That's what they're there for. That's the way it works here on live streams. Obviously, YouTubers answer questions that are accompanied with a super chat. So thank you, Cool Fool. Bodacious One, you're just... I'm
just trying to think what it would take Hunter and Stephanie to get fired. Who has the power to fire them? And what it would take. I really thought, and I'm probably wrong, but I really thought The Rock was going to can Triple H and Shawn. And I'll tell you what.
The Rock is just an employer too, isn't he? Rocky Montana.
I heard he's pretty high on the board of directors. That's what I heard. What do I know? I don't know. But that was what was said.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget, Triple H and Shawn Michaels tried to get him fired.
Yes, they did back in the 90s. Yeah.
Just during the Bret Hart stuff and after, they were trying to get Rock fired.
Wow.
You think The Rock doesn't remember that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, if he's up here, he can be like, ha, 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 guys. Take your jabroni ass out of here and go down to the SmackDown Hotel and whatever, right? Heartbreak Hotel, whatever Shawn Michaels used to call it. What was his talk show called?
The Heartbreak Hotel.
Yeah. Has no vacancy, by the way.
Speaking of Heartbreak Hotel and segments, I'm going to be going on tonight on NPR, Illinois, radio broadcast. The debut of the Masters Manor happens tonight. That's right. I'm going to be in interviewing situations with other pro wrestlers from across the country. So I'm going to see if they really are the best of the best or if they're just another flash in the pan. I will expose them, Bodacious Suave.
Don't you have anything to promote, Amir?
Oh, you're talking about the thing that I have this weekend?
No, you're man, I'm sorry, I'm blank right now. Damn it. Your class, your character development.
Yes, I've got a character development class. Anybody watching this, If you want to come on, it's $50 a week. We offer a monthly discount. We're going live via Zoom, privately, of course. It's not going to be aired, but I am running character development classes now for professional wrestlers. I'm going to be using my knowledge from all my years as a writer, producer in Hollywood. I'm also now working in the industry out here, and then you never know which legend is going to appear with us to teach you how to be the best character that you can possibly be. We're going to teach you about promos. We're going to help you figure out who you are, because one thing that creates a legendary wrestler is a great character. Without it, most of them are just forgotten. Again, we did the test earlier, Bodacious Suave. When we went through the list, who can we think of? Back in the day, everyone was well fleshed out. We remembered them all very clearly. But we want you to succeed in the world of professional wrestling. So we're offering that right here. Masterclass with the Masters of Wrestling. So it's going to be private. Wow. When did you get that, Bodacious Suave?
That was a funny story. I went to a restaurant this summer. No, it was last year in July 2024, and Jacques Rougeau was there, and they did a raffle to win that, and I actually won it.
Oh, awesome! It's a nice series. I mean, I like that. It's reminiscent of the old Hasbro figures, right there.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a Pierre Carl. Great characters, great tag team, the Quebecers, former tag team champions, where they somehow beat the Hart brothers at Royal Rumble 1994, which is a great storyline, which really elevated Owen Hart's career.
Yeah.
And
Anybody who's watching who hasn't already, make sure you powerplex that subscribe button, hit the like, share with your friends and family, get us to over 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. It is a tall task, a very tall task indeed. So we need you to be our tentacles from the algorithm, to go out into your social medias. Grab this link, post it on your Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever other, TikTok, whatever else there is out there. Share it with your friends and family. Get the word out about the Masters of Wrestling, Style and Power and Glory, and of course, Masterclass with myself, the Bodacious Suave, and the original Sin Bodhi.
Is our plan to put every other podcast out of business?
No, because of course we are in alignment with, of course, the Café de René.
Yeah.
Obviously, I co-host with him over there on the Café de René. I'll be on with him tomorrow, in fact, at 3 p.m. with our special guest. And of course, you and I will be back next week, pre-recorded segments. We'll have another pre-recorded segment coming out tomorrow. You and I will be back live next Tuesday, next Wednesday, and next Thursday with Paul Roma, Mario Mancini, Rico Constantino. We got a couple other special guests that we're going to have lined up. So yeah, keep checking back in. We've got some
we're going live for Christmas.
It's Christmas. Yes, you're right. What day is Christmas?
I don't know. I think it's next week. I don't know, isn't it?
Is it next week?
I don't care. I got nothing to do. I'll entertain you guys.
I don't know. I mean, like I said, I'm not a kid anymore. So Christmas is pretty much, we love our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, Yeshua. All glory to him. That's why we do this. We wouldn't do this otherwise. We do respect that. But
so Christmas Eve is Wednesday and Christmas is Thursday.
All right. Well, I guess we won't go live on Thursday then, because it is Christmas Day. I want to let everybody enjoy their time with their family and whatnot. But we will go live on Wednesday. We will do a Christmas Eve special, and we will have a special guest with us on that night. So make sure you load up on your super chats, your super thanks. Get ready to ask some questions, because we're going to have some very interesting guests on that one. Guests plural, potentially. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anything else, Bodacious Suave? We're going to close out here in about 10 minutes.
No, all good. Had a blast like always, guys. Thanks a bunch. I really appreciate it. And I'm not just saying it, that you guys actually take the time to sit here and listen to us yap and comment. I do appreciate it. There's other things you guys can do. I live in reality, but to take your time and sit with us means the world to me.
Yeah, absolutely. We do want to thank you. We do go off on certain topics, but at the end of the day, we're doing this from a place of love and respect. We love professional wrestling, both Matthew and I. Matthew's trained in it. He's worked around it.
Speaking of getting trained, what move I have a tough time with?
Mm-hmm.
Giving somebody a leg drop.
Well, do you not like Giving a leg
No,
drop?
my brain, like guys, I know it sounds so easy to do. Just go, jump, leg, etc. But you have to make sure your hamstring lands on the guy's chest. But my brain just like it's like, okay, 1, 2, 3, go. My brain like won't let me go, and I'm scared to hurt the guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't. That messes up. As soon as you have an oh shit moment in life, you're screwed. You're screwed.
Then
right?
don't do the leg drop. Don't bother. Don't do what you can't do.
No, but in class, they're teaching you, right? So you have
they
to
can teach you all you want, but are you going to use it? No.
No, it's not my move. But in class, it's like, okay, guys, part of the drills. But giving someone a leg drop is something I have so much problems like getting into, and then it's like I just do the shitty like drop. I don't actually elevate in the air.
Well,
and
I would say this. I mean, it's just my personal opinion. Again, I could see because of your height, your size, you're a guy who's going to do a drop kick. If you're taking a class and you got a 7-footer and you ask him to do a drop kick, it's kind of dumb. It's stupid. He's never going to do a drop kick in the match. No. You know, I mean, Randy Orton is the exception of the rule. You know, he's really one of the only tall guys that come to mind that utilize a drop. Did the Undertaker ever do a drop kick? No.
No, a leg drop though.
Oh, a leg drop.
Leg drop. Yeah, that's what
you said. Drop kick.
Sorry, I meant leg drop. I can't do a leg drop.
I mean, a leg drop, I would think, you know, I mean, that is.
Yeah, I know, but you know what? Go put Tink on the floor and say, hey, don't move. I'm going to do a leg drop. And you tell me if you're going to get it on the first
at a certain angle. Hey, you know what? We're not going to get into that. We're not going to reveal any secrets here. Kayfabe.
Well, I'm just saying it looks like the easiest move to do, and it is, and it takes
considerably. It is pretty darn easy
to perfect.
It is pretty darn easy. But do you want to do it? Because look at what happened to our dear buddy Hulk Hogan. His whole spine was messed up. He lost 4 inches in height because
I think I'd be a submission wrestler because that's it. These things they take a toll on your hip.
Yeah, you don't want to destroy your body. Look at John Cena. We've been talking about John Cena. 5 moves of doom. That's it. He didn't take all this other stuff, and look how popular he is. You know, he didn't do that. He just, you know, he told a story. That was it.
He pumped his Reebok pumps.
Actually, that was probably a great gimmick that he had right there.
It worked.
And the Dr. Thugonomics.
Yeah, and the this and the whatever his thing was. It was all marketed well.
I just wish he had not. I wish they'd have got him out of those ridiculous jeans, the jean shorts. That was, I never understood it. He should have changed years ago out of that.
I agree, but do you think it could just be risky to put him in like generic black trunks? Like,
no, you do a design. You put him in he wouldn't have trunks. He would have the biker shorts. He would be like that. You give him a little design on the back, a logo or a catchphrase or something like that. Thing is with John, he didn't really need, and that's the thing with a lot of wrestlers, you don't need all these zigzags and crosses and Celtic freaking logos on your freaking tights if it doesn't mean anything. You just, an emblem, a name, and that's it. Keep the rest clean. Why the hell do you put freaking Celtic art on it?
You could just put the word life on your ass, right?
Yeah, word life. And just have the 2 bloody things like little hands going like that, and you're done. That's it. Why complicate it? Look at the $1 Million Man. He had a dollar sign on the side of his truck. Perfect. Didn't need anything more.
Yeah. Well, you know where that's Vince McMahon, eh? He like really thought of himself as that. That's where that character came from.
Yeah. Ted DiBiase, a dear friend of ours, God bless Ted. He's a man of faith. I've spoken with him a number of times. Really nice man. Did great things for professional wrestling. Again, a great example of a difference between a wrestler who's just a move guy and a character. Ted embodied the character. And when you look at it, think about Ted's career. When Ted was just Ted DiBiase, he was Ted DiBiase. He was a guy who wrestled in the South. Once he became the $1 Million Man and he started talking, and he could talk. Oh, yeah. He had catchphrases and the laugh and the look and Virgil and Sensational Share. He became a worldwide success. Can't you see what the formula is? Repeat it. Why are you not repeating it? Hey.
Why did he stop wrestling young? Did he get injured? Because he was done by 93, 94.
No, he found his faith. He started to go down a negative path. I think there was some things that happened with his wife.
Yes.
And then he wanted to break away from the industry. I'm sure it was a toll on his body too. I'm sure there was some things in there.
He was still doing like managerial and commentary, and then he went to WCW, right?
He was great. He was great on commentary, dude.
Oh, he was. He great heel.
Yeah. And he was great also the $1 Million Corporation. Fantastic.
Yeah, I wish the team was pushed stronger.
Yeah, it was good. But when he went to WCW, it wasn't the same.
He didn't even have a role. I mean, the whole NWO, the whole roster was NWO, right? So it got
pretty much it was.
Yes, that is true. Paul London is not a fan of $1 Million Man because he talked down to him. Yeah, you can ask Paul that story, but that good homework, Kingpin. You're right. That's true.
Kingpin's one of our loyals right here. One of our loyalists right here. I see him commenting and contributing to our shows all the time. Thank you so much.
It was pretty much like Ted DiBiase's telling Paul London, like, you're not over and you don't deserve to be tag team champion and stuff like that.
Yeah. No. Everybody, there's always somebody who doesn't like you. There's already somebody who's going to put you down. It exists everywhere, ladies and gentlemen, wrestling fashionistas. No matter where you are, work, school, pro wrestling. Heck, you could walk into a library and somebody could say, hey, I hate that guy for no reason. It's just life. You're not going to please everybody. We're not going to please everybody. You're not going to please us.
It looks childish, though, I find, in wrestling. It's like it should all be like a supportive system and, hey, let's all make money together. And, hey, there's so much politics and backstabbing and you have no friends. You can't trust anybody. You think that guy's your friend. You tell him a secret. He runs to the office, stooges you out. Next thing you know, you're put on like the C show. You're not getting booked.
Yeah. Well, anyway, let's close this one out. Let's bring it to a close. So again, write us your comments after this video posts. If you do have a question, you got 3 minutes to throw it in with a super chat, super sticker, super thanks. If not, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. Vince Russo, Triple H feud. Is this good for professional wrestling? Will it reboost? Will it boost professional wrestling? Is WWE going to completely do away with sports entertainment now? As Michael Cole said on commentary at Saturday night's main event. Are they just going to be a pro wrestling company now? What does that look like? Then you're going to have 2 straight pro wrestling companies and no sports entertainment. What's that going to look like? What do you think? Who do you think is going to win? Do you think Vince Russo is going to get JCW to the top of the mountain? Do you think they're going to get a TV deal? Do you think they're going to become a viable competitor for WWE? Well, you don't think so? Well, we'll see about that.
I don't know. I think they're just too small. I don't think they're there, but they're going to put eyes on their product for sure. But like you said, they're too, adult content. And example, their venue might be, you need to be 21 to get in, so you can't bring your kids.
Mm-hmm.
It could just be that rowdy.
I think they could still be cutting edge. They could still be raw and very strong, but they just need to tone down the cussing and stuff like that. And I think they could still be a viable. But like I said, watch that space. I really considered what you said earlier. We talked about it, about aligning. Potentially in alignment with Vince Russo.
I think until they get a TV deal, they're just going to go no holds barred, right?
Yeah.
But like example, I remember like there was that girl stripping in the ring there. I forgot her name. Yeah. But she didn't take anything off. It was just it was a lure to draw in somebody and and then they got attacked. But she just undid her bra strap. Nothing got revealed. So I don't see them going down the sexual route, but I do see the language elevated. But.
Well, we'll see. Like I said, I appreciate what you said earlier, what we discussed off camera about, potentially, talking to, myself and Vince Russo. You never know what's going to happen. This is professional wrestling. You never know what's coming around the bend, but I do take that very seriously. And like I said, we'll see what happens down the line with that. But for now, I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you do. Hit the like, share with your friends and family. Make sure you tune back in next week for all our lives. I'll be on the Cafe de Rene tomorrow with Rene Dupree. So check this out. I think we got a special guest with us tomorrow.
Jason's on tomorrow.
Jason Sensation will be with Renee and I tomorrow on the cafe. But Matthew, any closing statements here from you?
Everyone have a very good night. And thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you soon.
Yes, we want to God bless each and every one of you. Thank you so much. And again, oh glory to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, Yeshua, for giving us this gift to be able to entertain each of you. Until next one, God bless.